Okay, thanks, Mike. So a couple of good comments were made in the chat window. It's probably a good idea, Christine mentioned, to have your students download Canvas, download the Zoom apps now, get familiar with them so that they can use them. The other thing is having the students have a way, get like a scanner app that they can take a picture of an assignment or something and submit it, via a picture or something. So there's lots of good ideas going in the chat window, and when you work with academic technology. This is a time we kind of want to open it up to questions. If there's something specific you're wondering about, if you'll put it in the chat window, and then we'll try to grab those and repeat them out to the group. Someone did ask, there's been some discussion in the chat window about what about students that don't have internet or don't have a computer at home. Remember, kind of the recommendation, I think it came from the governor, was that gatherings need to be kept to under 250, which still seems like a large number. But so for now, until kind of we're told otherwise, I think the computer commons will still be open, so students will still have access to that. And some of our other resources will still be available for our students until, the situation changes, which we know can happen quickly and sometimes can be taken out of our hands. Someone asked the question, can you see a DVD via Zoom? I don't know about a DVD specifically, so let's just talk about Zoom from the perspective of you can share content on Zoom. So you can share your desktop, you can share a specific application. If you notice, when you go to share content on Zoom, down at the bottom is a checkbox to optimize the content for video if you are trying to share video. So if you're sharing a YouTube video, make sure you check the little box down at the bottom that says optimize for video. And we've tried it, it works pretty good. I have not personally tried sharing like the DVD app. And I know some DVD apps may not even let you do that. When you go try to share it, it may block the screen. But I would be, it's just one of those things you're gonna have to try. We're all trying to figure this out together. If you come up with a good way to do something like that, then by all means share it with the group. And any of my presenters, if you see a comment in there that you can answer or that I'm missing, by all means jump in and grab it.
So Mark, the most recent person that spoke is the person that pops up in Zoom. So when I ask my students, like, who these three people, are you here and presenting? Yes, yes, yes. The presenters' faces usually show up for me. But whoever is sharing the screen, whoever's screen we're seeing, is the slides that are showing, which the host or co-host controls that.
And just so you all know, while we're in the Zoom, for those of you that are on video, in the upper right-hand corner, or at least on my screen, it may be somewhere else on your screen, but there's an option to toggle between speaker view and gallery view. If you're on speaker view, whichever speaker is speaking, that's the video that's going to pop up. If you click on gallery view, you'll actually see 4 videos right now, because you'll see the 2 mics, Christine and myself, with our videos showing up. So there's a couple of settings. And even as the organizer of this meeting, if I change that for myself, it does not change that for everybody. So right now I'm in gallery view, but some of you may still be in speaker view.
And so there was another question also about, are Confer Zoom and Zoom the same thing? The short answer is no. Like the California Community Colleges paid a lot of money for Confer Zoom. It has some extra bells and whistles. The biggest thing is it's built into Canvas, so you schedule your event inside of Canvas instead of in your traditional Zoom account. You can have longer sessions. You can use breakout sessions. You can record it and it gets automatically loaded to your Canvas with these, it's not subtitles, well, subtitles. They do the subtitling for you and send you a link in your email. So there's a lot of reasons to use Confer Zoom, but here's where it gets tricky. If you when I open Confer Zoom from Canvas in my computer, it takes me to my Zoom app. So I know that's really confusing. They speak to each other, but when you schedule, when your host schedule it through Confer Zoom and make sure you're registered for Confer Zoom, because teaching, lecturing, using breakout rooms, recording, getting those recordings sent to you, like all of those things are better in Confer Zoom, and it's all speaks to Canvas. So I'd strongly recommend using that. Todd, am I explaining that correctly?
Yeah, it's you're close. You're accurate for the most part. So basically, the state licensed Zoom, and they branded it Confer Zoom. And so the main difference is if you go right now and sign up directly at the Zoom site, you're going to get the very basic account, and it's going to time out your videos after 45 minutes, and there's some other functionality that isn't there. If you go through conferzoom.org, use your Bakersfield College email address, and sign up there, it automatically creates a pro account for you, and then you have all this additional functionality, plus you do not have to worry about your Zoom sessions timing out. If you accidentally went and created your account under the main Zoom site, go to the conferzoom.org site, and in the upper right-hand corner is a link for support. And there's an email address there, and all you do is send them an email, giving them your email address, and say, hey, I accidentally created an account on the Zoom site. Can you convert it? And they're very responsive. They'll convert it over, and then you'll have all the features of the pro version. There was a question in the chat about, have been getting some mixed message about whether those that meet face-to-face can require students to interact with us through Zoom video or not, and they put in parentheses, due to privacy issues. I'm not the expert on that. If we were go straightly by the law, we're required to make everything accessible and accommodate. With that said, this is probably a unique situation, at least for now, and we'll be given some leeway, just a little bit, because this is uncharted territory for everybody. I saw Sonia just popped on. Maybe she has some additional comments.
I think, Todd, what you're demonstrating is that all of us are going through this process and sort of learning as we go. I know that legally we've been given a lot of leeway, both from the governor's office as well as our state chancellor's office, so that we have the freedom to try out and use our reasonable judgment. For the specific question about proctoring tests using Zoom video, I would tell Jimena that engage with your students because you want to make sure that the tests are being proctored. And if some of them, Nick mentions the digital divide in the video chat window as well. So engage with your students, find out how many of them can accommodate it. And we're going to try to find some institutional solutions as well. In the event that we have to completely shut down the campus, we won't be able to proctor tests on our campus. But in the meantime, as you're figuring it out with your students to see that as you're moving into that testing environment and trying out new strategies that we will continue to share in a daily seminar, you may be able to find a way to meet the intent of what you're trying to do, which is not have students cheat on their examination. So that's the best answer at this time. And we are also looking at solutions that come up from faculty in your conversations to make those more sort of institutional solutions. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? I'm just looking at the chat. I know there was an email sent out about the Confer Zoom and how to set that up, so that would have come from Pam. Kenward says, I have complicated exams, writing, drawing required that are not very amenable to online. Is there a possibility for giving a face-to-face exam for my smallest class in a large lecture hall, Orem or SE 56? Sonia, did you want to answer that question?
Todd, I'm sorry I didn't hear you. I was distracted in the chat window. Could you read that again, please?
It's Kenward Vaughn's question. He has complicated exams like writing, drawing required that are not very amenable to online. Is there a possibility for giving a face-to-face exam for my smallest class in a large lecture hall, forum, or SC56?
Like I was mentioning earlier, Kenward, to Jimena's question, that for next week, for those of you who are really wrestling with doing the Zoom real time, but wanting to have the test come in paper format, we will try to provide some institutional solutions, like places we could proctor examinations and collect papers. So in the meantime, we could do that. While we're doing that, I'd like you to be thinking about more of a long-term solution in the event that Kern County Public Health asks us to completely shut down. But for next week, probably yes. Thank you.
So for those of you that have video and can see on screen, because I was asked to clarify how to get your account converted over if you accidentally created it on the Zoom site. So in a web browser, just go to conferzoom.org, and then up along the navigation bar is a support option. And if you click on that, there's both a number, but there's an email, support@ccctechconnect.org. If you send them an email, give them your email address, tell them you accidentally signed up for the regular Zoom account, and make sure you give them your Bakersfield College email address. They are very quick to get it converted over to the pro account for you.